we today are going to be going over the Dejounte Murray trade and the NBA draft. All right, so we're going to be going over the top 10 picks of the NBA draft, and after this, me and Henry are both going to pick one of the players from the top 10 in the draft and say why we think they're going to be doing the best. So, with the number 1 pick, now, I'm going to be completely honest, if I get the name wrong, don't get mad at me. Paolo Banchero went to the Magic. Henry, what are your thoughts on that draft pick?
I think they could have gone with Chet Holmgren, but I think that Paolo Banchero is a good scheme fit. He went to Duke. He's 6'10", which is tall for a power forward. He's only 19. He's very young. He's got a lot of good stats for him. He averaged 22.6 points per game in just high school, but in college, it really stood out because he only had 1 year. And in that year alone, his 3-point percentage was .338, free throw percentage was .729. PPG, his points per game, was 17.2, which is very high for college. I think this guy is very good. His field goal percentage is .478, and his GP is 39.
With the number 2 pick, Chet Holmgren went to the Thunder as a center. He's 195 pounds. He is 7 foot tall. He is a great 3-point shooter. I think he's one of the best NBA prospects of all time. He's a 5-star recruit. He's agile for his height. He can shoot from almost anywhere on the court. He's from Gonzaga, and their team has been very good lately.
I just want to say that Paolo Banchero has more points per game. I just want to clarify that.
I can understand that, but here's the thing, is that Banchero was on a team with not as many good players as Chet Holmgren was. As you know, there was a second center on that team named Drew Timme, who I really like as well. I think that Chet Holmgren is going to come out here, and he is going to prove that he is a good player. He's also starting for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Henry, do you have any thoughts on Chet Holmgren?
Very good player. Next up is Jabari Smith at number 3.
He's on the Rockets, right? He's a good player.
6'10", power forward, 220 pounds. Went out of Auburn. It's about 1 year in college. All his players are having 1 year in college, which is kind of like wow.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I'm kind of surprised. I think he should have played another year in college. But the thing that I really like about him is that he's just he's got a lot of things he can do.
He's good free throws. He's only good in the paint, which I get. He's a center. He's a center.
So the one thing I do think is good about this is, as you know, lately in sports, Christian Wood was traded, the starting center for the Houston Rockets. So I definitely understand this move of getting another big man. Number 4, he's another good player. Henry, do you have any thoughts on Keegan Murray?
His first year was a Rocky, but his second year, 23.5 points a game. College, that is about 1/3 of the points scored by the team.
That's high scoring right there. That is the definition of a good scorer. I was surprised Keegan Murray dropped down to 4. I really feel like he was more of a fit for the Rockets than Jabari Smith. But, the Kings need as much help as they can get.
I think he's good as power forward, as a good 6-man.
I agree. As we move to number 5, we have Jaden Ivey.
This is my pick. Jaden Ivey is my pick.
Jaden Ivey is going to the Pistons. Henry, you want to tell them a little bit about Jaden Ivey?
Well, he's 6'4", 190 pounds, very, very movable, because he's a shooting guard and point guard.
Nice.
At Purdue, His first year was okay, averaging 11.1 points per game, but his second year he did better than Chet Holmgren with 17.3 points per game. Field goal percentage was .460, three-point percentage was .358, free throw percentage was .744. He had assists per game is 3.1, a little less than Keegan Murray.
So, overall, do you think that the Pistons with Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, do you think they have a chance to be a back like 8th seed, 7th seed in the playoffs this year?
No, they're tanking.
They are tanking?
They're doing it for like at least another year so they can get another good player.
Do you think they make a trade, or do you think that they draft?
I think they could make a signing of a good player.
Do you think that there's a chance that they go for free agency this year or next year?
This year, because there's a lot, because Kawhi Leonard's walking, and they can get him.
I 100% agree. I think that he's going to be a good player. The
Pistons got a lot of cap room, and Kawhi's on the market.
That is true. As we go to number 6, Benedict Mathurin. I have no clue how to say this guy's name. He's on the Pacers. Henry knows a lot about this guy. What do you got, Henry?
Hold on. Okay, so he is 20 years old, 6'5". Oh, that was kind of convenient. He was drafted right after his birthday. Okay, so 6'5", 210 pounds, out of Arizona. And his last year of college was 17.7, the second highest behind Keegan Murray.
So,
and he scored field goal percentage is .450, and 3-point percentage is .369. Nice. Assists per game is 2.5.
So, my question about this guy, because I do not know a lot about this guy. Do you think he starts for the Pacers with guys like Tyrese Halliburton on their team?
I think so.
Really?
Actually, no. TJ Warren's better.
Okay, I can agree with that. Do you think in the future he starts, or is he a role player on the bench?
I think there will be a point where he starts and he can prove himself.
Alright, let's go to number 7. Shadon Sharp is on the Blazers. Now, they got rid of McCollum. Their team is not the best. I have no clue if Lillard likes it there, or if he actually wants to move. I think that he's going to be a good player on this team, but I'm gonna honestly leave it at Henry because he knows the most about this guy.
Okay, so shooting guard, it's good to switch McCollum, as we mentioned. So 6'6", 198 pounds. The Canada national team for the FIBA. He averages 13 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, and 2.3 assists. This guy, I'm thinking, stay over. I see potential in the guy, but
do you think?
I don't see him on the Trailblazers. I think Damian Lillard could be a teacher for him.
Do you think he's going to be a starter at some point?
Maybe. There's a chance. But I highly doubt it.
All right, we're going to go to number 8. This is Dyson Daniels. He's on the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay, so he's 6'8", very tall for a small forward and shooting guard. 195 pounds. Okay, so in G-League, he averages 12 points per game, 7.1 rebounds, 5.1 assists. That's also right here.
Number 9, we got Jeremy. I don't know his last name. Sochan. He's on the Spurs.
I think we're just gonna call him Sochan. He's 6'9", weighing in at 230 pounds at power.
He's a bigger guy.
Power forward / center at Baylor. In his 1 year at college, he averages 9.2 points per game, field goal percentage is .474, 3-point percentage is .296, free throw percentage is .589, assists per game is 1. Oh God, this guy is. Look at his stats.
Do you think he's a good player or do you not?
No, he's terrible. He should have got drafted in the second round.
I think you're underestimating this guy. We're gonna go to number 10, Johnny Davis that went to the Wizards. He was an interesting guy. I'm like,
shooting guard. I'm a little confused on why they drafted a shooting guard. Bradley Beal.
I think
in case Bradley Beal leaves.
I guess, but I also think that Beal is like their ball handler, so like they can run like a two shooting guard offense, but like Beal is basically their point guard.
Yeah, because Ronaldinho is ass.
As we are talking about Johnny Davis, what is
his
college stats? Henry, what is Johnny Davis's college stats?
Okay, so his listed height is 6'4". Listed weight is weighing in at 194 pounds. His field goal percentage is .427. 3-point percentage is .306. Free throw percentage is very good at .791. Assists per game is 2.1, and assists per game. I just said that. Points per game in college is 19.7. Very good. Second so far.
So
only behind Dejounte Murray.
So, what I want to know is, out of these 10 guys, Henry, who do you think is going to be the worst?
I know, Jeremy Sochin.
Really? I'm going Dyson Daniels.
Dyson Daniels or Jeremy Sochin.
I agree. It's number 8 or number 9. Like, if one of those two guys
have terrible stats.
Alright, so I think that we agree that number 8 and number 9 are personally not the best picks. No offense against them, but we feel like there could have been better guys.
Good players, but just better guys like Jalen Williams. I thought he was going to go in the top 10 for sure.
As we move on to the Dejounte Murray trade. Okay, so just so you know, in case you haven't heard, this is new. Dejounte Murray was traded to the Hawks for a package of Danilo Gallinari and first-round picks. Now, who do you think is the winner of this trade? Dejounte Murray and the Hawks? Or
I'm a little confused on why the Hawks traded for a point guard that got Trae Young, who's not slowing down. In fact, he's speeding up.
So, my thing is, like I said with Bradley Beal and Johnny Davis, these two guys, like, they might run a 2-point guard system, like, and like one of them can play off the ball. Like, they're like, Dejounte Murray can play shooting guard. He's a better defender than Trae Young is. He can, like, I'm excited for the Hawks this year. Like, they were a pretty good team last year. Obviously, they didn't make the best playoff spot, but making the playoff makes you a good team. But I think that they will be a top number 6 seed and lower this year, unless injuries occur. Henry, what do you think?
I think it was a good trade for the Hawks, but I think it's a good scheme fit. However, I think both trades were a winner here. It was a good trade for both sides.
Really?
I just think that the Hawks may have overpriced for him a little bit. Maybe always 2 first-round picks was good, but not a whole bunch.
So the one thing would be is that this is like Matthew Stafford going to the Rams. They traded a lot for a guy who wasn't that good, but he was not on the best team. And personally, he could have been a better. This could be the missing piece to the Hawks.
I agree. They could, but there's like a lot of contenders in their conference, like the Sixers, the Bucks,
the Raptors,
the Celtics. The Raptors, I think if they can get some better players, they'll be a really good team.
All right.
Because
So,
Fred VanVleet is their entire team.
all right. So, what do you think is going to happen to the Hawks this year?
I think they may go to the finals, but I think they're definitely going to go to the divisional rounds.
You think the Hawks
But,
are?
I mean, quarterfinals. Sorry.
So you think the Hawks are
whatever.
going to be a top team in the Eastern Conference?
Yes,
And why do you think that?
because, like you said, Dejounte Murray was the piece that they needed. It was the missing piece, and they found it.
All right. We'll see you in our outro. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of our news sports
Podcast.
Yes. We're gonna be making a video at least once a week on the latest sports news. Sometimes we'll do rankings. I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, leave a comment. I hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you guys in the next one.